All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Cincinnati. And we now have got the world number one in action against Auger-Aliassime, a guy that he has never beaten. And there's not too many players that Sinner hasn't played and has a losing record against. So this is going to be interesting. They haven't played for a while. They played a couple of times in 2022. They also played, they were supposed to play last year in Madrid, but Sinner had to withdraw. So last time they played was actually here 3 years ago, and it was a 3-set banger with FAA coming back from a set down to win. So a lot's changed, obviously, in the last, 3 years. Sinner's gotten better. FAA has kind of steadied a little bit. I mean, he's sort of been consistently around that top 20 kind of spot. Whereas in 2022, he was that was his best so far, right? So let's see if FAA can rely on that head-to-head to cause an upset here. Or if Sinner's just going to do what Sinner does on the hard courts this year. We've also got Shelton coming up against Lehechka in about 2 hours as well. So we'll watch that as well and do all those things. But what's going on? How are we doing? How are we? I'm not sure the word spamming is being used in the right context, but okay. Yeah, it's because you write in all caps. If you write in all caps, then you will get... Nightbot will get you. So please don't do that. Thank you. But yeah, so that's what we've got planned for the next couple of days, or a couple of hours. I don't know if the schedule's come out yet. It might be coming out in the next, hopefully next little bit. And then we can also see what that looks like tomorrow, because tomorrow is going to be a busy day. How was the food? It was good. I forgot that I made food yesterday. Yesterday I was really smart. I forgot that I cooked food and then had it. I ate it. So happy about that. 6-3, Sinner, you reckon? Yeah, I think it should be Sinner in straight sets. What did I make? It was just chicken and rice. So I didn't really make anything. I just reheated it. When's the US Open draw? No idea. Next week, sometime. Sometime next week. I don't know when, but we'll find out together. The tournament starts a day early, so that's going to be... That we also have to keep that in mind too, right? It's a little bit of a pain in the ass, but yeah, these things happen. Tournaments are starting earlier these days. FA has a big serve, true, but is it enough? Because Sinner can get back big serves. Bublik's the only one who has a big serve that's been able to beat Sinner recently. But we'll see. I don't know. We haven't watched FAA in months. I can't remember the last time with Felix. So, yeah. I have no idea when the last time we watched FAA on the channel. So, he might be way better than he might be playing really well. I don't know. I have no idea if he's more aggressive than he used to be. Because remember, we used to watch Felix and he used to be like defensive and it was sort of annoying. So, I don't know. FA needs to display variety today. Oh, yeah. He needs to, for sure, have variety. He can't stay back and rally. He's got to come to the net. He's got to be aggressive. There's so many things he has to do. He can't just rally. That's not going to be enough. That ain't going to cut it today. Last time we watched was Steph FAA Dubai final. Was that this year? I'm sure we watched Felix before then. No, you're right. Yeah, it was. Yeah. So we watched FAA. We watched him in. Yeah, we watched him a couple of times this year, but yeah, that was the last time. Yeah, you're right. Dubai, when he went on that run and made the final. So yeah, that was the last time we watched him. That was the final time. Until now. Until right now. If they get into a tiebreak, I don't think FAA would win, but let's see. Yeah, that could be interesting if they do get into that situation. Is Lajovic the last player outside the top 20 to beat Sinner on hard courts? Maybe. That's a very detailed question. Let me find out. Who is the last player outside the top 20 to beat Sinner on a hard court? It's a great question. That's a very deep question to start the day, but that's what we're here for. Yes. 2 years ago, Cincinnati, he was the last one. Yes. Yes, he was. And then since then, Sinner has not lost to a guy outside the top 20 on a hard court in 2 years. 2 whole years. So yeah. Lajovic in the round of 32 was the last player to do it. So really one of the last times Sinner was not like that was because remember we all talk about post-puke Sinner, right? Post-puke Sinner is the meme, right? But like Sinner before, like in 2023, he was doing well, but he was losing in 5 sets at slams, and that was becoming an issue. But then once he lost in Cincy, he lost to a 5-setter to Zverev at the US Open, which, again, heartbreak. And then after the US Open, that's when things clicked, right? He goes to Beijing, or did he go to Beijing? Was it Beijing where he puked? And then after that, he turned into a totally different guy, beats Djokovic a bunch of times, wins the Australian Open 6 months later. So, like, yeah, the last time he lost on a hard court to someone outside the top 20 was at a time when he was still just about to take that next step and go to the next level. It was just before that. And since he's been at that level, he hasn't lost against that anyone outside the top 20 on a hard court. But can Felix break that today? Or is Sinner going to win his first match over FAA? We'll see. First quarterfinal since Madrid 2024 in Masters 1000 event, FAA. Well, that's great. Good for FAA. He's better. I mean, he's in this generation as well, right? He's part of the Sinner Alcaraz generation. He's just not had a great couple of years. You know, a couple of years ago, he was top 10. You know, doing great things, but just hasn't been consistent lately. How long to the match? They're about to walk out on court. Alcaraz plays tomorrow. Felix has got the buzz cut going on. He's got rid of all the hair. Well, he's got hair, but he's just trimmed it down. I do love watching FAA when he's playing well. Like, he is fun. He's good to watch. He's got every shot. He just doesn't play aggressive enough, which is hard to... that's what's frustrating. He doesn't play... He doesn't seem to... He doesn't play... Like, he has all the weapons, but he doesn't use them. He's a little bit like Hurkacz like that, where you're like, God, you could be so intimidating and such a bully, but you just hold back a little bit. And Felix does that sometimes. So you could be, oh man, you got every shot. You're so talented. But he kind of just holds back a little bit. And hopefully today he doesn't, because he can't afford to do that. I'm your ex-member Cam. Thanks for being a member. Sorry to see you go. Hopefully, you can come back one day. FAA versus Federer was one of the best fun matches to watch in Halo 21. But that's what got me so hyped on Felix as well, because it's like when he beat Federer that tournament, it was so fun. It was like that's the Felix that you want to see. He was playing so well, but then he got a little bit like after that he got a little too defensive. Look, he did well. It's not like he hasn't been good since then, but he wasn't playing the game that I'm like I wanted to watch. Like I wanted to see him be more aggressive, a little bit less. He started to play a little too scared. A little too defensive. So hopefully now this match especially, he can show that again. Then Dimitrov would have beaten Sinner at Wimbledon had he not get injured. Why are you asking me questions like that? Don't ask me that question. I'm going to say no. I think Sinner would have come back and won from 2 sets to love down because we're watching Jannik Sinner and all his fans are here. So why are you asking me these questions right now? I think Sinner would have come back and won. Hey, Hadar, thank you for the 39 months. Appreciate that. Thanks for coming back. FA's backhand is pretty vulnerable. Well, yeah, but we'll see if Sinner can do something. Cincinnati courts are empty every day, it seems. It's Thursday. It's the middle of the afternoon on Thursday. I mean, that's the answer. All right. Players on court. Here we go. I just hope Felix is competitive. That's all I want. FAA can't afford to get broken even once? Yeah, maybe. Whatever the day is, FAA Sinner is a solid matchup, hopefully. Did they change the venue as well, or is it just the color of the court? Just the color. It's still in Cincinnati. It's still at the same venue. They just changed they just repainted the seats in the court. It's the exact same location, though. I want FAA to win, but what probably won't. It's going to be tough. By the way, winner of this will take on the winner of Rune and Atmain, who are playing tonight. So, not going to get any easier. Especially if Rune gets to win tonight and takes on one of these guys. That'll be a very interesting class. Again, I want to see Sinner Rune. I think that's a great matchup. For some reason, they've got a little bit of distaste for each other as well. A little bit of tension between them. I don't know what it is, why, but it's fun. We love that. As much as Alcaraz and Sinner is fun to watch with the friendliness, Rune Sinner just when they've played, the frosty handshakes happen. I don't know why. I don't know what it is, and I think Rune would love the challenge, to be honest. I think Rune seems like I feel like Rune hasn't had a chance to play Sinner lately. And I think right now it'd be that like such a good chance for him to be like, you know what? I know you're the best player on the planet, but you're not that good. Like almost like when Nalbandian played Federer back in the 2000s. And Nalbandian was like, I'm not afraid of you. Like everyone else is scared of you. I don't care. I even know how to beat you. I've beaten you before. You're not that scary. I think Rune has got that like Nalbandian attitude towards the best player on the planet. And I want to see Rune play with that sort of not disrespect, but like lack of fear against, because everyone against Sin is like, oh no, he's really good. But Rune is like, he's not that good. Like I just get that attitude from him. I love it. He's just like not afraid. He can't match Sinner. Oh, we'll see. I hope we get to see. Okay. Here we go. I don't know who's serving, but they're about to get ready. Yeah, he's like, whatever, I'll play him. Exactly. Exactly. He does not care about Jannik Sinner's abilities. He is not scared and he doesn't care. What is Medi lacking in today's power and technique? He's lacking a solid net game. And also probably confidence. I mean, I think his confidence is low. Yep, my dog is asleep. She's passed out. Okay. Last time they played was 3 years ago, and Felix Auger-Aliassime won. Irrelevant. The only relevance the head-to-head is that FAA can walk out here and go, well, I've beaten Sinner before. But he hasn't beaten this Sinner. Hasn't beaten this guy. Not this one. Not this version. He's so much better than he was in 2022. He is not the same player that he was. So the only thing is Felix can walk out here and go, I have never lost to you. That's the only thing. Some sort of confidence. But it's irrelevant. Because Sinner is not that guy anymore. He's not that same guy. You can't beat Sinner the same way as you did 3 years ago. You can't play him the same way. Otherwise, it ain't going to end well. All right, here we go. Sinner, FAA. Let's just hope Felix is competitive. That's all I ask. If it's a 2-hour 6-2, 6-2, I will be disappointed. And it could be like that because it could be like that. I hope it's not. I hope it's competitive. If it's a long match, it's a close match. All right. Sinner won the toss and elected to serve. Here we go. The world number one. I'll tell you, chat. As much as Alcaraz being number one suited him, Sinner has just a presence. He has a... Just the way that he walks around, he's like, I'm taking my time because I'm the best player. Not an ego. Just like... He just has like... Just like... He is... You could tell that he's the best player on the planet. He's the number one. He's like, yeah, we'll get to the serve. I'll just walk over here. I'll do this thing. Like, he has a poise about him that an aura about him. Exactly. I don't want to use that word, but like there is an aura around him. Like, he looks like the world number one. He stands and walks like the world number one. Anyways, love 15. He lost the first point. Love 15. Now Sinner's having a chat to the umpire. All right, so Sinner's just saying there's some noise going on. And he's asking the umpire, what the hell was that noise? And the umpire's like, wasn't me. I didn't do it. I'm sorry. Love 15. As a return goes into the backhand of Sinner. Sinner hits a winner. 15-all. Like Nole in the 2010s. You know what? It feels more like Federer 2006-07. 2004 to 2007. It feels like more like that. It feels Sinner is definitely more Federer mid-2000s than Nole 2010s. 15-0. As a return goes in the net from FAA, and it's 30-15. 30-15. He's calm and nonchalant like Federer. Oh yeah, that's the difference. Whereas look, Nole in the 2010s played like he had something to prove. Like he had I wouldn't say he had a chip on his shoulder, but he had like that kind of, like he started the 2010s by being made the villain for no reason, just because he wasn't there before Federer and Nadal. And then by the middle of the 2010s, he turns it around to be like, all right, well, screw you. I'm going to win. Whereas I don't think Sinner has any of those, like he doesn't have either of those attitudes. I don't think Sinner's trying to prove anything or trying to, he's a bit more like Federer, where he's like, I am the number one. I am the best. You've got to come catch me. Like Federer had that in 2004 to 2007, 2008. Like Federer was like, I'm number one, catch me if you can. And Sinner's got that. Even though he had 3 months off, he has that. He came back and he was like, 3 months? Bro, I'm still number one by a mile. One love Sinner. I gave you all 3 months to catch me and you did nothing. 3 months and you couldn't even get close. All right. Yeah, it's like the way the way Sinner walks, the way he just conducts himself. He just is the best player. Like he is the best player on the planet. And Alcaraz, I don't want to compare him to Rafa, but he is the Rafa in the situation, right? At least when it comes to ranking. Grand Slams, obviously, he's got more. But like Sinner's Federer and Alcaraz is Rafa at the moment. In the at least on the hard courts. There's a forehand out of the forehand of Sinner. Sinner in the net, 15 love. A mature Rune could give off Djokovic. Well, that's it. And then, yeah, Rune is kind of the Djokovic of the conversation a little bit. At this stage, we're talking late 2000s Djokovic. We're talking 2015 Djokovic. Late 2000s, Djokovic coming up, as a disruptor, right, of the Fadal. Rune could have that kind of influence or impact. Also, there's other players too, though. It's not, we can't compare again, there's no big three. There's two guys that are well and truly the best, and then a bunch of other guys trying to compete. But that's what it was like in 2008. It was Federer and Nadal. No one, third place was a mile away. But there was, there were names that were mentioned in the conversation. Murray and Djokovic were two of them, but there was other people too. Back in 2007-8. Safin was super relevant still around that time. You had Roddick and Hewitt was still up there. Hewitt was injured, but Roddick was still there. Gasquet was still just getting started. Monfils was making it, was in there, right? And we're kind of in that situation now. There's two guys that are well and truly in front, but there's a lot of people that we're trying to figure out. Is Draper next? Is it going to be Shelton? Is it Rune? Is it somebody else? Right? We're doing that. We're having that conversation now. Delpo was super relevant at that time too. I mean, it's crazy to think that by the time we got to 2010, Delpo and Djokovic had the same amount of slams and probably was seen as the same threat, same amount of problem for everyone. And then 10 years later, Djokovic, for different reasons, Djokovic runs away with it, and Delpo doesn't get to play much. But yeah, when we start 2010, Murray has 0 slams. Delpo gets one against Federer, right? Breaks his streak. Djokovic had one at that point. So there's a lot of names in the conversation. We're very much in that era right now. The only difference is that Federer and Nadal were way ahead of everybody by the time competition started. Whereas this time, Sinner and Alcaraz are ahead of everybody else, but it does feel like everybody else, they're not giving them that much of a head start. It's not like they're 10 slams in already, right? Not yet. Maybe they will be before somebody steps up, but it's just fun. It's a fun time to watch the ATP, to see who steps up. 30-all. As it'll forehand now from FAA into the backhand of Sinner. Felix forehand to the forehand of Sinner on the stretch. Felix goes down the middle. Sinner backhand. Again, the backhand of Felix. Sinner backhand again to the forehand of Felix. And Felix hits it out. Break point, 30-40. 30-40. To take the break straight away. (40-30). As Felix serves a fault second serve. As we get a serve again. Into the back in a Sinner corner from Auger-Aliassime in the net. There's the break. 2-love. 2-0. All right. And we start off with a break. Okay. All right. You think Sinner can play at this level for long, considering he is tall and lanky? Yeah. I don't think there's any reason he couldn't. Sinner says the 4-second serve. And the return goes in the net from Felix. 15-love. But we've got to keep an eye on Gracheva and Seidel, because after that we've got Shelton. So we've got to keep an eye on that as well. As we return out by Auger-Aliassime, 30-love. 30-love. Are you sure your dog doesn't snore? Yes, I'm sure. Pretty sure. Ah, 40-love. As Sinner tries to get to 3-love here. Sinner prime incoming. Okay. 40-love. As we had a forehand out by Auger-Aliassime. And Sinner is up. 3-love. 11 minutes. One second, chat. All right. Hey, creatures, thank you for the super sticker. Appreciate that. I actually see more similarity between Roger and Alcaraz's game. So don't get it twisted. I'm not comparing Federer and Sinner's game or Nadal and Alcaraz's game. When I make that comparison, that it feels like we're right now in 2006 or 2007, where there's two guys that I'm not making comparison between the players' styles. Yeah, okay, Federer goes about it and Sinner go about the similar way, where they're quiet and they don't yell and scream as much, and Alcaraz is more vocal than like Rafa. But it just feels like the distance between the two best players on the planet and the rest feels similar. That like there's two guys that are well and truly above everybody else and way ahead of them. Like there was Nadal and Federer were way ahead of the pack, and then after over years, people started to catch up. So I'm not making a comparison between Nadal, I think Alcaraz plays like Federer. No, that's not what I'm saying. It's the feeling of two guys being way ahead of everybody else. Has that sort of mid 2000s feel. I'm not comparing them directly with this guy has a good forehand like this guy. No. It's just the feeling of where tennis is as a whole, now. It feels like 2006 again, where we're in that kind of post-Sampras starting Federer Nadal era. That's kind of that, I'm not going to say weak era because lots of people use that word, but in that transition kind of era where we've lost Rafa and Roger, Novak's on the out, and we're trying to find who are the next group of players. And we've got two of them, but who are the others? Are there any more? Because there's not going to be two guys just winning everything forever. Maybe for now, but not forever. Eventually, we're going to get other players win stuff. Might take 5 years, but we'll get there. Anyways, 3-Love. Yeah, Andre Pete era into the Federer, Nadal, Djokovic. And we're in that period. We're right where we were now, where we were then, right? And it's what the WTA was a couple of years ago with Serena, right? Serena leaves, and Swiatek steps up, but we didn't know who was that. And then Barty leaves, right? Serena and Barty left. We thought Barty was going to be the next, the next dominant, takes over the world, but she retired. And then we're like, well, Swiatek's there, and then we didn't know who else was going to be there. Now, 3 years on, we've got Gauff, we've got Sabalenka, we've got Krejcikova doing well. Pegula's been solid. We've got Paolini doing stuff this week. Raducanu's got a slam. Vondi's done stuff. Raducanu's come up. Osaka's coming back. We're sort of... The WTA went through this 2 years ago. 3 years ago. So in 2 years' time, it'd be really interesting to see where we are. Who has slams, who's competing. Who lifts their level to Sinner's level, because he's raised the bar. He is where you got to play you got to play at his level. He's set the bar. Okay. Anyway, it's 15:30. Chance for a double break. 15:30. As the return goes in the net. By the way, it's really fun today because we're going to watch Shelton versus Lehechka, and those two guys are in the conversation. Shelton more because he's higher ranked, but Lehechka also. So I'm really excited to watch those guys play because those guys are within this generation. 30-all. And also that winner of that place is Zverev, who obviously has been in the conversation for almost a decade as a first as a next gen and then as a Grand Slam finalist multiple times, 1,000 champion. I mean, a very successful career. Just needs that one thing, just the one thing that everybody else wants. That Grand Slam. 30-40. As the return goes into the forehand of FAA, he shanks it for love. 4-0. All right. Sinner is cruising. Cool. Hey, Joanne, thank you for the 18 months. Appreciate that. Why is Sinner's second serve hard to return as well? It does not look strong. I mean, it must be strong if it's hard to return. I mean, maybe not powerful, but it's not an easy serve to return. I think another reason would be also maybe a bit psychological on the returner's end, right? Like, Sinner misses the first serve and you think, oh, I better make the most of this because I'm not going to get too many chances. So maybe it's like the returner, has a little bit of a panic attack, internal panic, right? Oh, shit, I better do well. And then they maybe make an error because they're nervous, Because he doesn't give you chances very much, Sinner, So you got to make those chances count. There's a backhand now from FAA. Sinner with a forehand in the net. 15-all. Sinner serves again. Sinner too strong on the serve. 30-15. As return goes in from Felix, but Sinner puts it away. Lovely backhand winner. 40-15. As we just serve. There's a fault, second serve. Serving the forehand of Felix. Return goes back into Sinner. Felix backhand again, the backhand of Sinner. It's Felix with a forehand to the backhand of Sinner. The backhand of Felix, who goes down the line. Sinner with a forehand cross. And FAA puts in the net. 5-love. I'll tell you what, Sinner hits the ball so deep, it just gives no one a chance to attack. Like, it's easy to just go, oh yeah, you just have to attack Sinner. Just be aggressive. How do you be aggressive when the ball is at the baseline every time and you can't step in? You have to defend. You have to stand back on the baseline and try and hit winners from 20 meters back because Sinner's pushing you back. So, like, how do you beat that? That's what made Djokovic so great. His depth of shot was one of the big reasons why Djokovic was so dominant too. I mean, like, you hit the ball, and the thing is, Sinner hits the ball harder than Djokovic. Like, he rips it a lot harder than Djokovic did. So you hit the ball deep and you're hitting it hard. There's no chance to attack that guy on the ground. You have to beat him with your serve, but how do you return then? Maybe you use variety like Alcaraz. Maybe, there's only one guy who's figured it out, and that's Alcaraz. So it just shows how impossible it is when he plays this way. Not only deep, but they're powerful shots. I literally just said that, yeah. You're ignoring Sinner's spin. Well, part of the reason why you can hit the ball so hard is because you get spin on the ball. I mean, the more topspin you get, the harder you can afford to hit it. Whereas if you hit it flat with no spin, all those shots go out, right? So, yeah, the spin, he doesn't have Rafa top spin, but yeah, he rips the ball. That's what ripping the ball means. You rip the ball by ripping it with topspin and power, which combined create ground strokes. Good, effective shots. Effective ground strokes. All right. 5-love. 5-love. All right. Felix trying to get on the board. The crowd are trying to give him a little bit of encouragement. Yeah, 19 minutes. See, this is the kind of tennis that Sinner does that Alcaraz doesn't do as much of. Like, Sinner comes out here and he just... again, we said it in the first round when Sinner came out and he won in like less than an hour, the fastest win he's ever had. When he did that, it felt like what Roger did back in the day, when Roger would just wreck people and just make people want to retire tennis. Like, Sinner has that ruthlessness on the court. Like, he makes players want to quit playing. Like, Sinner's going to make people want to stop playing tennis. Like, that's it. He is going to just rip people's hearts out and make people look so bad at this sport, even though they're good. Like, I mean, if you're in the top 100 of the world, you're pretty good at the sport. Sinner's going to make those people look so bad and make them feel bad. Like Federer, Kyrgios said it best. Federer made him feel bad. Federer makes you feel bad. Sinner is the same. Sinner does that. He does not care about your feelings on the court, unless you get injured, and he's very caring that way. But he does not care how you feel after this match. He's like, if you want to quit, you quit. But I ain't changed. I'm not. There's no charity today. There's no charity coming from this guy. Not on the court. 15-0. As Felix serves the fault, second serve. $15-0. As he double faults Felix, see, that's what it happens too. You start getting your ass kicked, and then you got to try and hit second serve aces. Like, that's Sinner making that Felix play all kinds of crazy. 15-30. Another fault, second serve. Sinner is an assassin. He is. And Felix double faults again. And we got set points for Sinner, 15-40. See, chat, a lot of people that are saying like, oh, this match is boring, this is not good, this sucks. If you're going for FAA, it sucks. But like, if you're neutral, yeah, okay, we all want tie breaks, but just kind of I appreciate Sinner for what he's doing here, because this is some crazy dominance. 15-40 as FAA finally gets Sinner moving, and it's 30-40. Like, just like as much as it's like a one-sided match, the way Sinner's winning this match is the interesting part. It's not Felix making all the errors. Yeah, he's making errors now because Sinner's got him really sweating, but just the dominance of Sinner against a guy who has been playing well, right? Like, Felix has had a good week. I mean, Felix was a top 10 player not that long ago, right? Felix has never lost to this guy. He's 2-0. But just how scary Sinner is. He's so scary. 30-40. There's only one guy who's not afraid, and that guy is... that guy has a good record against Sinner, but also that guy has a couple of close wins over Sinner, which makes the difference, right? No, deuce. You see, like, the fact that, like, people in the chat are saying, like, my grandma beat Felix, he should go back to juniors. Like, the fact that, like, Sinner is making Felix look bad. FAA is a great player. But people in the chat are saying, like, yeah, this guy sucks. It's like, yeah, Sinner's making him look terrible. But it's not about Felix. It's more that Sinner is that much better than everybody. Like, he's so good. But he also is embarrassing his opponents at times. As Felix double faults again, I mean, he's got FAA shook. Advantage Sinner. By the way, I said Felix this week has been playing well. What are we talking about 2019? Felix has been good. Felix hasn't lost a set all week, and now he's about to go down 6-0. And he said another fault, second serve. Sinner's just like, come on, buddy. Come on, what are you doing? Get that first serve and I want to rally. Second serve. Double fault. That was like, what, 4 double faults in the game? And FAA is like, what is going on? Sinner has got him confused. Like, 6 loves Sinner. 27 minutes, and it was only because that last game went for about 5 of them. I'll tell you, if you're Holger Rune right now, you want to win tonight really quickly. You can't afford to play a 3-hour match tonight. Because if you have to play this guy in the morning or in 2 days, no chance. 5 double faults for FAA. He hit 0 winners, 13 errors. I don't think I've ever seen a set of tennis where someone hasn't hit a winner. And not even an ace. Like, Felix can serve aces. He served 0. He hit 0 winners. Sinner only hit 2 winners, 6 errors. So he was clean. But Felix, no winners is crazy. That's crazy. That's the craziest stat of that set. The 6 love, okay, but no winners? Not even an ace? Not even a cheeky forehand? Nothing. Sinner's like, you ain't hitting nothing past me. Crazy. This is the best player on the planet. For a reason. He's the best. Number 1. He's number 1. You're going to make people want to quit tennis. He's going to make people want to quit. This chat needs moderation. Yeah, name and shame. If you like, who needs moderating? Hey, thank you, Laura. Yeah, we got to 260 in the last at the golf match today. Awesome. I mean, 300 is closer now than 200, which is crazy. Sinner demoralized FAA. Oh yeah, that he does that. 29 minutes played, by the way. And again, I'm not comparing the players as such, but I'm comparing the feeling. It feels like when Djokovic gets halfway through a tournament and he starts playing better guys and he goes, remember like Djokovic 2023? Like that's when Djokovic will get to the hard guys and we're like, oh, here we go, Nole's going to play. And then he just starts beating the shit out of everybody. And you're like, oh, okay. Like Djokovic gets to like the 4th round and he'd like, you know, when he's had a couple of tough first rounds, like 2023 Australian Open, right? He loses like a set early and you're like, what is he doing? This is weird. It's going to be weird when he plays the better guys. And then when he plays like Rublev or Demonor and he's like, yeah, nah, I got this. Like, and then Djokovic just wrecks people and you're like, oh, okay. I don't know why I was worried, you know? It's got that feeling. Like, by far the hardest person Sinner's had to play all week, but by far the best result. Like, the most dominant he's been all week. But now he's down love 30 because, you know, of course he is. All right, love 30. I like your sofa. Thank you. All right, love 30. And Sinner serves a fault. Second serve. Serving to the forehand of Auger-Aliassime. Sinner with a forehand again to the forehand of Felix. Felix is a wide though, 15-30. Cam, do you think Sinner's repetitively dominant wins will give him later in his career what Djokovic has? A bunch of people who have developed over the years a lack of confidence they can beat him. You mean like scar tissue? For sure. There's going to be people out there that Sinner has never lost to, and then by the time, I mean, Demonor's got that already, right? There's going to be people that are going to play Sinner in 10 years that never beat him right now, that couldn't beat him, and they're going to pretend, like exactly like Djokovic against Monfils, right? That's one of the people, right? Even now, when they're both in their like end of career, Monfils still can't beat Djokovic. Like, there's scar tissue for sure. And Sinner's going to give that to a lot of people. So is Alcaraz. But yeah, definitely. Definitely. Even if Sinner's not the same guy in 10 years as he is right now, the people that he beats easily now are going to remember those losses. They're going to stick with him. Stick with him, and they're going to have to play that guy, even though it's not, maybe not the best Jannik Sinner in 15 years. Who knows? Maybe it's better. Djokovic, right? But who knows? You're right. There will be a lot of mental scarring from those players that aren't competitive against Sinner. 40-30. But then there'll be a young group of players that come up that haven't got that, and they will take on Sinner and Alcaraz in 10 years, and they might believe naively that they can win, because we've seen that with, Alcaraz and Sinner against Djokovic and Nadal, right? They came in and they were like, well, I've never lost to you because I've never played you, so I'm not scared. And they don't have that. Unlike, Tsitsipas, Zverev, Medvedev, all those guys who have played those guys, There's always going to be a new group. And who knows, maybe 5 years we've got a more competitive top 5 or more top 10, and everyone from 1 to 10 can beat each other. But right now we're not like that at all. It's 1, 2, and sometimes number 2 gives number 3, 4, 5, 6 a chance. But number 1 he's very greedy. In the best way. As a back end return out of the back end of Sinner. Sinner heads it out. He's not greedy right now. He's being a bit generous right now. Wait until he's not generous. Sinner's giving out charity. Advantage FAA. Advantage Felix. To take the break and a game. Sinner says a fault, second serve. Second serve. Double fault. Oh. And Sinner's just grabbed his ankle. Okay. I think Sinner just landed on that serve. When he landed on his left ankle, it kind of just buckled a little bit. That was a strange... Yeah, Sinner kind of like... Yeah, Sinner didn't... That was a weird... Like, when he landed, his ankle kind of, like, shook. When he landed on that serve, that's... Yeah, just sort of, like, slammed his foot onto the ground. All right, there's the break. Man, that was a sketchy movement, that one. He's all right, though. He seems all right. He's walking fine, but... A little bit of a shock. All right. Sinner's just kind of trying to, I guess, stretch out the foot a bit. Just move the foot a bit, see if it's all right. All right. Back to Felix. Here we go. Felix has got a game and he's got an ace. Is that his first winner of the match? First ace of the match. All right. 15 love. By the way, chat, we're almost at 300 likes. Thank you for that. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Cam is so excited for Sinner. Yeah. I am a fan of really, really, really high-level, dominant tennis. It's awesome. I'm excited that we're getting... Like, if you, 3 years ago, tennis was in a crisis. Because we thought, who the hell is going to be next? We thought, maybe Alcaraz, maybe Sinner, maybe this, maybe that. We thought tennis would be in the shit when the GOATs retired. And to think that we've got someone who's not only taken the place of the big three in, like, a couple of guys that have taken their spot, but those guys are dominating. Like, that I didn't think that was going to happen. I don't think anyone thought it was going to happen. Like, it was looking pretty grim. Even in 2023, Alcaraz wins Wimbledon, and we're like, oh, yay, good. But then Djokovic dominated, and we're like, what the hell happens when Nole retires? And then 2024, Sinner goes, well, he doesn't need to retire. I'm still here. I'm here. And that is huge. Because it was going to be the Alcaraz show, which is fine, but also it's so much better with Sinner and Alcaraz. Sincaraz saved what could have been a devastating post-GOAT apocalypse. Yeah? They saved it for now. 30-15. And I mean, look what happened when Sinner wasn't playing for 3 months. Tennis, it was brutal. It was pretty grim when Sinner didn't play for 3 months. Yeah, Alcaraz and Draper stepped up, and but I tell you, ATP was tough when Sinner wasn't there for 3 months. February kind of sucked. March was awkward, and then Alcaraz started dominating on clay, which was good for the men's tennis, but it was hard to watch ATP in February, March. WTA carried back then, and then he came back, and we got the greatest French Open final of all time. So I mean. Again, Sincaraz destroyed tennis. False. 30-all. Chance to get the break back here, Sinner. $30-all. As we return now to the forehand of Felix in the net, 30-40. Sinner's either an alien or a cyborg. This man is not human. I love it. I'm going to go with cyborg. But then Alcaraz was made in a lab. So, I mean, we got a guy who was made in a lab, and we got a guy who was made out of metal. Like, like Alcaraz was built in a lab using the genes of the goats. And then you've got Sinner, who is basically Darren Cahill built him in his garage. The box of scraps in a cave. Back to deuce. One guy was made in a science lab and one guy was made in a cave. Like, this is where we're at, chat. In the hills of Italy, in a cave. The box of scraps. Darren Cahill was there. All right, deuce. As we return out of the back of Felix, that's a good shot. Sinner can't get it. Advantage FAA to take a 2-love lead here. Sinner's a cyborg and Alcaraz an alien. Yeah, that's exactly. That's exactly right. It's a great comparison to I guess mythical creatures or unexplained. It's yeah, we're confused. We're all confused. It doesn't make sense. All right, advantage FAA to go to 2-love. All right, serve again. There's a fault, second serve. All right, second serve. As the return goes in, the forehand of Felix. Forehand from Sinner goes wide. Felix with a bit of a shout. 2-love. All right, FAA. FAA takes the 2-love lead. He had to fight for it. Back to Sinner. As the return goes into the forehand of Sinner. Slice from Felix. Goes wide. 15-love. All right, 15-love. As the backhand goes in, the backhand of FAA. FAA hits it out. 30 love. All right, 30 love. First serve is a fault. Second serve. As the return goes in the forehand, Sinner backing up from Felix. Sinner with a slice. As Felix with a forehand into the backhand of Sinner on the stretch. Slice from FAA. Sinner with a forehand inside out. Great shot. Felix slices it back. And then Sinner hits a forehand into the corner. And it's 40 love. Did they basically clone Federer, Nadal, and Djokovic into these guys? Basically, yeah. But on a real note, when you look, like, what we're watching today is an answer to what we've seen before. So, like, at least this is how I see it. And I'll tell you in a second. 40 love as that goes to the net from Felix, and it's 2-1. So the reason why we've got someone like an Alcaraz has come along, or even just, Sinner, or even players that are lower ranked, that are in that, Rune, Lehechka, Shelton. But Alcaraz is a great example. Alcaraz is the solution to what Nadal and Djokovic were, right? If you look at Medvedev and Zverev, who are a product of them, of Nadal and Djokovic, right? So if you look at Nadal and Djokovic, what are their specialties, right? It's defense. They stand back real far, and they defend like crazy, and they out-rally everybody. Yeah, Rafa hits winners, and so does Djokovic, but the most part, they just do not let you win the point. You have to hit 100 shots to win the point. Medvedev and Zverev sort of learn from that, and they do that too, right? They rally, and until somebody misses. Alcaraz comes in, and he like Juan Carlos Ferrero and the coaches, they trained Alcaraz, I guess, to not be like them, but to beat that, right? So the way that Alcaraz plays, he drops shots, he comes to the net, which is a solution to guys who stand back. If someone's standing 20 meters behind the baseline, like Medvedev, the best way to counter that is to come to the net and volley and drop shot, right? Because he's so far back. So that's where I see Alcaraz coming in. Like, he's been trained to be like the answer to that game. Because remember, when Alcaraz was like, 12, 13, 14, growing up, he was watching Zverev play these guys and be a version of these guys. And his coaches would have been like, well, Zverev is kind of playing like Nadal and Djokovic, but he's not very successful with that consistently. So maybe it's not a good idea to copy them. Maybe it's a better idea to sort of try and do something different and be more aggressive and try and beat them that way. And we've seen Alcaraz be successful at that. But also, you got to remember that there's a lot of other people that were also probably watching tape of the best guys and trying to figure it out. And then you look at, again, like I said, the younger guys like Lehechka, you got Rune, you got all these guys that are way more, and now Sinner. Sinner was more of a defensive type to start, but now he's sort of evolved into more of a, he stands close to the baseline, he's more aggressive. Again, because he probably saw, Darren Cahill and the coaches probably saw like, shit, we can't play like, we don't want to play like Djokovic and Nadal because that game is not going to work against Alcaraz. So we got to be more aggressive. And Sinner's, obviously turned that. He feels like a more aggressive Djokovic as he comes in there and puts away a volley to prove my point. Love 15. So does that make, what I'm saying? So now, at the moment, the best players in the world, besides maybe Fritz, and obviously Nole, he's still there, the best players, and Zverev to some extent, but his results vary. The best players in the world, or the more successful players of 2025, have been the aggressive types. Menchik, Draper, right? He's more aggressive than previous generation, right? So it's fun to see the evolution of that. You know, how the game has already changed a bit with these guys. As that goes out by Felix, love 30. At least that's how I sort of see it. And I remember watching like Federer come up and the way that Federer made everybody change. Because when Roddick and Hewitt were playing to start, they were playing, and Agassi a little bit, like they were playing against serve volley guys in the 90s. So when they started, when Roddick and Hewitt started, they were playing against Sampras, right? He was the guy to, but you didn't want to replicate Sampras. They wanted to play a different style. So they started playing baseline tennis, and that beat the serve volleyer. As we saw in the 2000s when Sampras lost to Safin, and he lost all these baseline guys that were beating Sampras in the 2000s, and then serve volley tennis died, right? But then Federer took that game, because Federer in 2000, if you go watch Federer versus Sampras, Federer serve volleyed a lot, because 2001 serve volley tennis was still a thing. It was still a thing that people did. But then Federer saw, I guess, the success of Hewitt and the success of Roddick and against Sampras and serve volley types, and also against himself because they beat him as well, right? They beat Federer. And then Federer went, well, I can play on the baseline. I'm just going to be, I can also volley because I practiced that too, but I'm going to be the best baseliner you've ever seen. And he went, like, he went, like 2004, he went, I'm better than all of you at the baseline. You can't, but then Federer forced Roddick to try and learn how to volley. And same with, the only way you could beat Federer back in the 2000s was either beat Rafa Nadal on clay, which nobody else was, as Sinner breaks back, or try and get more variety in your game, because being a baseline rallier was never going to beat Federer back then. And then you get guys that can be baseline ralliers, but to the most athletic extent, like Djokovic, who comes in, right? It's just so fun. And I'm nerding out on this, I know, right? But it's just so cool to see that in real time. Just the subtle changes of the game, how the game. If you watch tennis in 2015, you watch tennis now, unless you watch Roger, it looks totally different, right? It looks totally different. You've almost got to be an all-rounder now. If you don't have every shot, if you've got you got a weakness, like you can't volley or you can't hit backhands, good luck, because everybody can do everything now. Everyone's a Federer. Everyone's an all-rounder. Like, it's crazy. If you don't have a good serve, you're not going to get very far. If you don't, mentally, if you're not mentally switched on the whole time, you are not going to get very far. Like, you've got to be almost perfect. Like, it's crazy. Like, when I'm trying to think of guys, who are some of the new guys coming up that have a weakness besides physically? Like, Draper has, injuries. Shelton's backhand, people talk about a little bit. But Alcaraz and Sinner don't have a weakness. Technically, they don't, right? Every shot they have. What a rant. Bro, it's called Tennis Talk, and I'm talking about tennis. Take notes. Your name is Ryder. Take some notes. You might learn something. 30 love. Fonseca, yeah, but with Fonseca, it's probably more he's over-aggressive. Like, there's players that are like Hetcher as well. They'll hit a lot of errors because they're too aggressive. But they can still do everything. Like, they can come in the net, they can volley, they can drop shot, they can, in a good way. Okay, sorry, Ryder. I take it back. I thought you were having a go at me. I'm just waiting for somebody to say, shut up. Talk about the match. I probably missed it. They probably already said that. 40 love. But look at Rune, right? Rune's got everything. Right? Rune's got all those shots. Right? Musetti's a bit too defensive for my liking, but I think he's got all the shots. Feast has got all the shots. Right? He can come to the net. He can drop shot. He can hit winners. He can defend. Because you've also got to be good at defending. If you're just a baseliner who can attack and you can't run, then you're going to get exposed. Like, it's so crazy to think. Like, tennis is so hard now. Like, it's going to be so hard. It's going to be so tough to beat, like, to win. Unless you're perfect. Like, there's not, like, I can't even, like, try and think of a way to beat. How do you beat Sinner? You beat Alcaraz, but okay, so you got to be perfect at every shot. And the thing with Alcaraz, right, is he's not perfect yet. He's probably like 99% there, right? But Alcaraz has still got room for improvement because there's definitely like he drops sets. Like when he starts to like turn as savage as Sinner and just not give away any charity, then Alcaraz is going to be a whole nother problem, right? Like people think they still have a chance against Alcaraz sometimes. I mean, if he's going to turn into Sinner eventually and be, people are going to be like, well, I can't even get a game off this guy anymore. So watch out for that. So good luck to anybody playing in the future. All right. Back in front. He's back in front, Sinner. Can't wait till that happens. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's going to be fun because we know Sinner and Alcaraz, they're probably neck and neck on abilities and titles and stuff. But when one of them gets better than the other one will improve and push the level even higher. Like, Chad, if you watch like Dragon Ball, you know what's up. Like, Goku's the best, and then Vegeta comes along, but then Vegeta pushes Goku to be get better because he had that's what we're watching. Like right now, it's neck and neck, but eventually one of them's going to get an edge, and maybe you could say Alcaraz has had the edge, and now Sinner's kind of gone. Now with the Wimbledon winners taking it to that level, and then after that, now it's like Alcaraz has got to get better, and they're going to keep getting better and better while everybody else is standing around waiting to. I don't know what they're waiting for. They better get better now, right? They better get better soon, otherwise they're going to get left behind. Like Agent Smith versus Neo. Oh, yeah. I mean, there's so many comparisons. I prefer Barbie and Ken. Okay. Each their own. All right. Let's get back to this match because it might be over soon. Sinner is on a rampage. 3-love in the second. There's a bit of fault from Felix. Second serve. It's like they're leveling up turn by turn. Yeah. It's awesome. As the backhand return goes to the net. And it's 15-love. Love. By the way, we've got Seidel and Gracheva playing at the moment. We've got to wait for that match to finish so we can watch the next one, which will be between Shelton and Lehechka, two of the guys that I'm talking about when we talk about the who can come and match these guys. I mean, Shelton's in the probably. I mean, Shelton is now with Draper not being around is the third best guy under 25, right? If Draper was here, he'd be fourth. But at the moment, you've got to say it's Sinner, Alcaraz, Shelton, and then Draper. At least for the last couple of months. I'm talking like post Roland, even like Roland Garros, post Rome, basically. No Novak? Yeah, Novak's like 38. Under 25. It's not 2008 anymore. 30-15. Lovely forehand winner there from Felix. That's what I like to see from Felix. Just got to do that 100 more times. 30-15. And we're fault second serve. As Felix serves again. Into the forehand of Sinner. Forehand from Felix in the net. 30-all. 30-all. Shelton's not winning a slam if Carlos and Alcaraz and Sinner are there. You're not listening. I didn't say that. That's not what I said. I didn't say Shelton is going to win a slam yet. I think he will, but I said he's the third best player behind those guys. I've been talking for like 30 minutes straight without breathing. Like, how have you not picked up on that? 30-all. As we let from Felix. $30-all. As the return goes into the backhand of Felix. Backhand from Felix goes out this time, and it's 30-40. Break point for 4 games in a row. Oh, you weren't talking to me. Oh, my bad. Sorry, my bad. I thought you were talking to me. Also, though, Shelton is going to win a slam, so leave Shelton out of it. I saw Weapons and can't stop thinking about it. Oh, no, right? What a crazy movie. I don't want to give it away by talking about it, but... So everyone go watch Weapons this weekend so we can talk about it next week. Felix gets to deuce. But Leon, I think that's one of the best horror villains. I wouldn't say, maybe not all time, but definitely one of the best horror villains. Like, when I was, like, watching it, I was like, this it had that like Nurse Ratched kind of vibe, you know, that kind of like, this is one of the most evil villains in a horror movie. So creepy. So go watch Weapons, chat. Deuce. There's been a backhand to backhand rally. As we get another backhand from Felix. Into the backhand of Sinner. Forehand from Felix is out, and it's advantage Sinner. Seeing it tomorrow? Yeah. We're not going to talk about it. What about the movie Together? I want to go see that as well. I want to go see that. Yeah, we're not going to talk about Weapons because I know people are going to go see it this weekend, and I don't want to ruin it. And I don't want to get into it. So no spoilers. Go watch it, and next week we'll talk about it next week. During the mixed doubles, we'll talk about it. It's a good movie. Very good movie. All right, breakpoint Sinner again. We get a fault from Auger-Aliassime, second serve. As he hits a double fault, and there it is. There's the break. Sinner, by the way, 1 hour played. Sinner, 4-2. 4-2 Sinner. All right. 4-2. Sinner with the 4 games in a row. Hey, Darren, thank you for the $2 super sticker. Appreciate that. Felix looks top 300. Yeah. Sinner does that. Sinner makes people look terrible. It's a thing of... It's a thing of... It's an art. All right. Love 15 as that goes out. 15-0. All right, Sinner serves again. Sinner serves a fault, second serve. Sinner hits a forehand, but the volley is too good by Felix. All right, 15. 15:30. 15:30. Dan, are you talking about me? I don't do steroids. Dude, I'm clean. This is natural. I'm natural. What the hell, man? Bro, why are you accusing me of doing steroids? I don't do that. I don't even hit the gym. This is literally natural. Damn, man. Come at me like that on a Friday? What the hell? All right, 15:30. And the steroid in my veins, all right? Leave me alone. 15:30 as we return now to the backhand of Sinner. And the forehand drop shot in the net by Felix. Sorry, Deb, I just saw it before you moved. I shouldn't have looked. Sorry, Deb, my bad. I looked at 2 seconds and then it disappeared. I saw it before it disappeared. All right. 30-all. We got a fault second serve. As the backhand return from Felix goes out. 40-30. 40-30. Now we've got Lehechka taking on Shelton. Is the next match we're watching. It's not straight after this, but it will be next. We just have to wait for another match to finish. $40-30. A bit of fault second serve. Double fault Sinner. Okay. Deuce. All right. We get the deuce. Sinner just having a chat to the umpire about something like a glare off the screen or something. Or someone in the crowd is... Oh, is it the screen is like... Oh, I think the screen... So the camera's looking at Sinner and then it's on the big screen. And when he goes to throw the ball up, they must change camera angles. So it'll change cameras. So it's distracting Sinner that... I think that's what it is. Great serve, though. Advantage. So I think when he looks up, the big screen on the TV goes from a close-up of his face to the overall shot, and he's like, it's distracting him. I think that was what it was about. That makes sense, why? Because it happens. Schedule out for tomorrow? Maybe. All right, 400 rally as that goes out by Felix. 5-2. Sinner with the lead. All right. 5 games in a row from Sinner. All right. Does a double fault count as an unforced error? Yes, it is an unforced error. Some would say it's the worst unforced error because it's all within your... nobody made you double fault. You did it yourself. So it's one of the worst things you can just give away a point. All right. Sinner is one game away from the semifinals of this event. The defending champion, of course, he won last year. Beat Tiafoe in the final. And then all hell broke loose. We're not going to go into it, but yeah. It was after Cincinnati that the shit hit the fan. But that's all said and done now. It is long in the past. And now we can focus on the future. And enjoy every we can enjoy everything that these both Alcaraz and Sinner will do. Plus everybody else. We can enjoy, there's no asterisks, there's no question. Unless there's an injury, there's no one can question the legitimacy of anything. Anyone's achievements, because everyone's there. All right, love 15. Sinner runs for a drop shot, but Felix puts away the easy volley, 15-all. 15-all. There's a bit of fault, second serve. There's a bit of return now. Slice from Felix into the forehand of Sinner. As Felix goes again, the forehand of Sinner. Felix hits a forehand down the line in the net. And it's 15-30. 15-30. As a return goes the forehand of Sinner. Forehand now from Felix. Again the forehand of Sinner. It's Felix backhand. Into the forehand of Sinner. Again the slice of Felix. Sinner forehand again. Into the slice of Felix, but Felix can't get it. Match point Sinner. Match points to Sinner. All right. $15.40, 2 match points to take the win and make the semis. First serve's a fault, second serve. As he double faults the finish. All right. Sinner takes the win. Sinner takes the win. And unfortunately, Felix, the serving was way off. But you've also got to put that down to the pressure that Sinner puts on people, on their serves especially, and on the return. As part of the reason. But Sinner lost 2 games in the middle of that. He won 6 games, lost 2 games, won 6 games. Just symmetry right there. Symmetry for Sinner. All right. Now we're going to wait for one more set for the ladies' match before we can watch our next clash. So, yeah. So that is what we are going to wait for. Sinner writes on the camera, just signs it. And that is that. Five winners and 29 errors from FAA, including 8 double faults. 7 winners and 12 errors from Sinner. So not the best, not his best match, but he won, so it doesn't matter. Rune is coming for Sinner. Well, Rune's got to win tonight. And he's got to win probably in straight sets without working too hard. Because if he doesn't win tonight easily, he's going to give himself a hell of a job tomorrow or the next day when he plays against Sinner. But Rune Sinner is that much closer. All right. Cool. Okay. All right. We'll stick around for a little bit. And then we'll hopefully be able to watch Sinner Shelton Lehechka soon. And then that's the last match we're watching today. And then tomorrow we'll be back. Again, we're waiting for the schedule too. So hopefully the schedule comes out. So we can also get that sorted as well. Is it over? Yep. Sinner got the win. Sinner got the win. Sinner's going to eat Rune too. Stop the hype, guys. Like you did with FAA. Only Alcaraz Sinner himself can beat him. Sinner. God, you hate fun. Scoreboard is out of my hands. I cannot fix it. It'll update in like when it updates. All right, just let me. I can't do anything about it. It's stuck, and that is too bad. Nothing I can do. Please stop freaking out. Everything's okay. Everything's fine. Don't worry about it. We know the match is over. We literally watched it. It's okay. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Don't worry about it. We know the match ended. We watched it together. Rune is playing really well, and he's one of the only ones who could take a set off Sinner at the AO. Exactly. But Rune has to win tonight, and he has to win easily. He has to win easily. He has to win quickly. Cam, change the scoreboard. Change your attitude. I just said that it's out of my hands. 8 double faults. Yeah, that's rough. He hit like 4 in one game as well, which was brutal. Rune is playing really well, and he's one of the only ones to... Yeah, I read that. I took Ben to win first set. I'm worried about the heat. Okay. I don't think it's that... I mean, he might get tired, though, because he has played a lot of tennis lately, Shelton, but... Need peak Rune up? Yeah, I want to see that too. I mean, just... Not because I want Sinner to lose. It's because I want to see Sinner tested. I want to see the best... the best player in the world get pushed against someone that's not Alcaraz. We've seen it like once. And that was because it was on grass and it was different circumstance. I would love to see a semi-final with Rune playing ridiculous and forcing Sinner to level, to go even better than he was. That would be so much fun. It'd be so much fun. I wouldn't rule out Atmain, to be honest. Yeah, it's not that I'm ruling him out. It's that I don't want him to win. It's not that I'm saying like Atmain can't win. Rune's got this in the bag. No, I'm scared that Rune's going to lose. I don't want Rune to lose. I want Rune to win. So yeah, you're right. Atmain could win, but I don't want that. Nothing against him. He's had a great tournament. I just want Rune Sinner more. Way more. Atmain's probably a lovely guy. Had a great tournament. He beat Fritz. That's amazing. But I don't want to see Sinner versus a qualifier in a semi-final of Cincinnati. I don't want to see that. Because what everybody else can't do against Atmain, Sinner is going to probably wreck him. Unfortunately. Sinner's not going to be beaten by a qualifier. Manarino was close, but Sinner won't make that mistake twice. Rune, though, Rune can beat Sinner. Or has pushed Sinner, as I want Rune to beat Atmain. Because I want Rune to play Sinner. Again, I'm not saying that Atmain's going to lose. It's what I want, not what I'm not thinking. I think, if I'm going to be honest, I think the match is going to be 3 sets, Atmain versus Rune. I don't want it to be. I think that sucks for the potential Rune match with Sinner. But I have a feeling that it's probably going to be Rune versus Atmain 3 sets. And it's going to be a long match, and it's not going to be it's not going to be the greatest preparation for the player to play Sinner next, right? So I want Rune to win, and I want Rune to win in straight so to make it more interesting. Because that way, if Sinner beats Rune as badly as he beat FAA today, and Rune has no excuse because he won easily too, that makes it even more interesting going forward, Like that makes like Sinner dominating a guy who he's struggled against before, who's not tired because he hasn't played as much. Whereas if if Rune comes in with like a 3-hour match under his belt, we can say, oh, maybe he's tired. But if there's no excuse and there's no reason except for the fact that Sinner was way too good, that would be awesome to see that. It would be fun to watch that. Or it'd be even more fun to see a competitive 3-set match, which would be great. I mean, look, Rune could still win 3 sets today and then play Sinner well on, in the semis. But all I want is Rune Sinner. I don't care what that match looks like. All I want to see is that match. I don't care if it's 1 hour and easy. I want to see it. It's an interesting. We're gonna get some answers. I don't care if Sinner wins in 30 minutes. Or if it's 3 hours. Carlos will probably beat both Rublev It's Zverev or Shelton. Well, that's also awesome. Like, that's another... I want to see... That's why I want to see Shelton tonight, or today, win, play with Zverev, because that's another one that we're like, okay, going to the US Open, Shelton versus Zverev. Okay, we can see a little bit of what the hell that looks like. And also Rublev and Alcaraz, right? And then Rublev Alcaraz versus the winner of Shelton Sinner, or Shelton Zverev. The winners play each other. We'll learn something more. I mean, that's what this tournament's all about for Cincinnati. It's all about learning. This is the last chance we get to see everyone before the US Open who's playing. It's the last chance. So I want to see all those potential finals, US Open finals, right? We had last year, we had Pegula versus Sabalenka in the final of this tournament, and then we had a rematch, right? I'd love to see that. We've got Raducanu taking on Sabalenka tomorrow. That's going to be fun, because that could be the final, right? Swiatek, if she beats Kalinskaya and takes on Raducanu or Sabalenka, that could be the final of the US Open. I mean, you know what I'm getting at? Like, we might be seeing a bunch of quarterfinal matches that we previews. So then next week, or 2 weeks from now, we get the rematch, and we remember what happened here, and we're like, oh, remember in Cincinnati it was this, this, and this. That's what's so exciting. Like, just like Rome. In the final of Rome, look what we saw. And then what happened at Roland Garros, right? That's what this tournament is. It's the Rome of the US Open Series. Cincinnati is the Rome of the US Open Series. So we need to get the matches that we're probably going to get at Roland Garros. Sorry, at what was it called? US Open. We need those matches. If we don't get any of those matches, and we just get like a bunch of qualifiers versus a bunch of top players, and the top players never play each other, then we're going to go to the US Open trying to remember what happened at Wimbledon. Because that's the last time anything relevant happened. You know what, like, right? You know what I'm saying? That's why we need these matches. Because we don't have any other option. After this, it's like, well, I guess we're playing the US Open now. All right, by the way, Grcheva's getting it done. I'm going to send you over the next one. It's been such a stop-start day today, but that's just because of the schedule. But I'll send you over to Lehechka and Shelton. We'll start that up in probably about 30 minutes, I would say. About 30 minutes from now, Grcheva's got a break in the third. But I'll use this opportunity to, I don't know, breathe. But jump over there and we'll watch a bonus stream. We weren't going to watch this earlier, but now I've changed my mind. Pardon me. But Sinner wins. 6-love, 6-2. He takes out Auger-Aliassime. First win over Felix. And it was dominant. Besides those 2 games in the middle, where Sinner had a bit of an Alcaraz-style siesta, he woke up straight away and he ran. And now he is in the semifinals again in Cincinnati, and we're going to find out who's going to play. I don't know if they're going to play tomorrow, semifinals, or maybe, no. Yes, mate. Tomorrow, Friday, Saturday. Men's semifinal Saturday. But I'll see you guys soon for Shelton versus Lehechka. Make sure you join us. It's going to be a fun match.